Chris will be in the house. He'll have a seat with us and talk to the Nighthawks. Big game coming up. Got a big season coming up.
Yes, sir.
The season starts tomorrow night, right?
Yes, sir. The real season.
Yeah, the big season is here. What about this Eastern Guilford team? What do you got to do to be successful against them?
I think we really have to just focus on our fundamentals. That's what they preach every week. Come out each practice, work hard, focus on the little things, take it a day at a time, and I think if we do that, we can be successful tomorrow.
Talk about your style of play. What's your style of play like? What's you on the field? I mean, we see without the helmet on the red head. We always see that red hair on the sideline. We saw that a couple of years ago, caught our attention quickly. But you're on the defensive side a lot, on the offensive side too. What's your style of play like?
I'm not the fastest guy out there, but I work hard on every play. You only get so many plays, and I just like to take advantage of each one, just give it everything I have on each one.
Where did you get that from?
I'd like to say my parents. They taught me everything. They raised me right.
Are they at every game? I'm sure they'll support you through and through?
Yes, sir. My family is too. My grandparents, they actually live right across the street from the school, so
wow.
They've been to every game.
Good connection.
Yes,
good, Chris Ripberger. Chris is with us. Think about this offensive side, getting more and more involved in the offense this year. How did all that come together? Were you part of the offense last year? Kind of an evolution thing? How's it all come apart there?
Yeah, my first year, sophomore year, I was just strictly defense. And then actually last year, I helped run the ball a little. Obviously, TJ took the main role. But slowly started getting more and more in carries. And this year, losing TJ, losing a couple other great athletes, I had to step up.
Pretty good balance for you there, too. Look at your numbers, receiving and running the ball. Pretty well balanced between the two sides. You catch quite a few passes, too.
Yes, sir. Occasionally, I'll line up at receiver. I'll also be at fullback making blocks, so I just try and help out the team wherever I can.
What about, we asked Austin about this. What about this new running back? I mean, you've been blocking for these guys the past couple years, doing kind of the dirty work. You had TJ, now you got CJ. What's it like with him back there?
Well, I've actually known CJ for a while. I played with him at Lewis Center back in the day.
Man, the good days.
Yep, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And he's a great athlete. He's got a great heart. He works hard, and he just got to keep growing, keep getting better, and I know we will.
What has he done, you think, for the team this year? What has he brought to the table? That kind of added element. You needed a battery charge up there when you lose TJ. You bring in CJ. How has he kind of boosted this team?
I think he provides the speed that we needed at the running back position. He's very explosive, and he gets better each week at just sticking that foot in the ground and going and making a play.
Who do you think the face of this franchise is? You've been in the franchise a while now, Northern Guilford. Who do you say the face of this whole operation is?
I'd definitely say Coach Roscoe. He started this team. He built the foundation for us. He set the example for how we should act as a part of the Northern community. He's helped us more than just as players. He's helped us as men. And helped us become who we are today.
I hear occasionally some of the guys still stay in contact to some degree with Coach Roscoe. Do you also stay in contact with him?
Yes, sir, I do. I've actually been down to his farm once or twice. Him and his wife love to have us down there and catch up with us, and it's great.
Is he a pretty tough farm hand down there?
Oh, yeah. He never stopped working the entire time. We would try and take a break, and he would get us right back up.
So you have trouble keeping up with the old coach then, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. What's it been like with the new coach this year, Coach Thomas? What has he meant to this team? What has he taught you, and what have you learned from him and all the different changes? I don't think there were too many changes. It was kind of a smooth transition, right?
Yeah. Coach Thomas and Coach Roscoe, they're pretty similar. They've been together for a while. Obviously, practice is pretty similar, and Coach Thomas is a great guy. I've known him since the first year I was there. That was his first year, actually. And so we've kind of grown and developed together over these past 4 years.
What have the past 4 years meant to you? Winning the championships, you got 3 rings as well?
Yes, sir, I do.
And you started just about every year, played every year. You're one of the captains. What have those times together with this Nighthawk Nation, this Nighthawk group meant to you?
Well, I think football has just been such a big part of my life.
Do you do anything besides football, any other sports?
No, sir, I don't.
With all that energy, I'm thinking, man, this guy could be doing something else too. Focus strictly on football.
Yes, sir.
And it's meant a lot to you, like you're saying.
Oh, yeah. It's provided that consistency in my life that you need, especially those guys over there. They're my friends. I've known them from the start.
I see you guys travel around a lot too, because one week we were doing the show, you guys just kind of dropped in unannounced, stayed for a little while, moved on, but the group, a lot of the same guys here tonight were together then too.
Yes, sir. We're always together. Some of my best friends, and we just like to do everything together.
Good hangout crew then.
Oh, yeah.
Who's been a mentor to you? Who was mentoring you when you came up through this program? A player maybe that you kind of learned a lot from, kind of helped?
Mark Mitchell. He was a linebacker.
First name again?
Mark.
Mark Mitchell. Mark?
Yes, sir.
I hadn't thought about him in a long time, but that is a key name from the past.
Yes, sir. I actually played with him at Lewis too, so he's been one of my good friends for a while. And so it was just great watching him play. He paved the way.
Did that Lewis team win the championship, city championship, you guys?
We won multiple, actually. Let's see, the only one we didn't win was my last year there. We lost 21-20 against Windsor. Still remember like it was yesterday.
That was a fun game, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Man, 21-20, that kind of reminds me of a game you guys had a couple of years ago.
Against Crest.
Yeah, what a game that was. That was a huge win for you guys that night.
Yeah. That was that was our first state championship. So, I don't think people really knew who our program was. So it was great to come out there and prove everybody wrong.
Put you guys on the map, and you guys had a great run to the championship that year. I mean, you guys left home and never came back when you hit the road for the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Everything on the road that year.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the great things about this team and this program is, we face so many challenges, and you just have to rise to the occasion and step up.
What are some of those parts of Coach Roscoe you keep with you now here this year and last year? What does he still mean to you guys?
I think his just leadership and he always preached just building that foundation. I think Max brought that up, but we just have to keep working each day, just keep building on that foundation, keep improving.
So he kind of gave enough to you guys, Coach Roscoe, to get this thing started. Then Coach Thomas steps in, and not too many changes, just keeps it going right on down the highway.
Yes, sir. Like I said, Coach Thomas and Coach Roscoe are very similar in personality, and they just provided that easy transition to just keep us moving forward.
Was it fun to be at home last year for the entire series of the playoffs? Is that a good thing?
Oh, it was definitely fun. We have a great group of fans and a community that just supports us fully. So it's always nice playing in front of them.
Kind of thinking about it, you got Eastern tomorrow night, then maybe you would hit the road in a couple of weeks, going back to the road, facing teams like Crest, who you usually would see in the championship game. You played them back-to-back years, too, in the championship game. Beat them that first year. I think you beat them again the second year.
Yes,
but you'd have to go on the road this time in the playoffs to visit them. You kind of, and that all goes back to the, what do you say your team record is, by the way, too? When somebody asks you, somebody out of the blue, not just trying to pick your brain and tear it up, but hey, you heard about you guys playing football? What's your team record?
I still like to think of us as undefeated, unbeaten on the field. What it says on paper, that's not how we really feel about it. We understand that we have to deal with it and move on, and that's just part of the game. You can't let it bring you down, but we definitely realize what our team has accomplished.
Some pretty good quotes in the newspaper this year, too. I've seen some of your quotes there looking pretty good in the paper. David Reynolds kind of used the Chris Ripberger interview sometimes after the game. Those are good. But back to that road, does that kind of take anything away, having to go on the road? Do you feel like, man, we're going to get slighted having to hit the road if we do continue on in the playoffs, having to travel this year? I'm thinking, I'm just kind of being selfish here now. If I was a team that was 9-2 and I felt like I should be 11-0, I'm thinking, well, 7-0, man, we should be on the road. This is right. We just got to get mindset. We got to play the game and keep rolling.
That's right. It's all about that mindset. Technically we should be at home all 4 games if we make it that far, but you can't look at it that way. You just have to take it one game at a time, take the challenges that come at you and just face them, overcome them.
You kind of look at the overall now. What do you think is the toughest thing about Eastern Guilford? You played them once, already beat them 41-0. Approaching Eastern tomorrow night, because you got to approach this thing not only from the defensive side, but the offensive side too. What do you see in this team, and what's your approach as you get set for the Wildcats?
They have so many great athletes on their team. They have a lot of speed. They have a very good inside linebacker who really just stopped our run game last time. So that's been one of our big goals to improve our run game.
Is it the Lundy kid?
Yes, sir.
Lundy, he's done real well this year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to face the same, I guess in some ways, this is all breakdown psychological here too, going out of our sports marketing class to our sports psychology class. You almost got to face it like when you approach Eastern, you got to say to yourself, this team is better than we think they are. You got to put them at a higher level. This team is very good. We're playing a tough team. You can't say, we're going to just whip these guys and beat the daylight. You actually got to put them a little higher than they actually are going into the game to have the right mindset.
Yeah,
what do you think?
They definitely are a great team, and you have to realize that. And the big thing is just not looking too far ahead. They are our next opponent, and we did beat them at first, but that means nothing going into this game. So you just have to realize that they are a great team and take every play.
I used to interview Coach Roscoe. He would be saying a lot of the same things. He'd be talking about a team as this is outstanding. I'm thinking, wait a minute, is this coach speak or what is this? Sometimes you got to stop and wonder, but you got to have that psychological mindset going in. If not, you won't be at the right level to play.
Yes, sir. You can see that in a couple of our games when we didn't come out how we should have in the first half.
Like Michael game?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. So you just can't view a team. You can't downplay them. You have to just realize that they are your next opponent, and you have to give them everything you have.
What about, again, that Nighthawk Nation, that fan base you guys have behind you? What's that like?
Nighthawk Nation is amazing. We have so much support. They're always there for us, backing us up and coming out to support us. And
That's a good thing. We had some photos of you guys. One of your games last year might have been the Page game, might have been the Dudley game. Even a photographer got photos of you guys. Couldn't miss you with that red hair on the sideline. But you had friends down there, draped around their arms. Just looked like a good time after the game.
Yeah,
good solid support. I think there were even a couple of young ladies down there. We've taken some good thing.
Yeah, we love seeing the fans after the game. That's always been one of our traditions, going to show our appreciation for their support, show support back to them.
Who's the big playmaker on your defense? Who would you capitalize here on the defensive playmaker?
I'd have to say Mook Reynolds, number 6. He stepped up big at the rover position. He plays a little bit of outside linebacker too and safety, so that's a very difficult position to play.
The guy can move around then.
Oh yeah, he's very fast and he's made some big hits and big plays.
Don't want to take you back too far, but it always comes up. We're talking here. What about having TJ back there on defense last year? He kind of came on board for defense for you guys. What was it like having him back there?
That speed is just indescribable. You know, even if we mess up and let someone get behind us, you could always count on him to.
I'm thinking maybe it takes a little pressure off. You don't want to relax. There's always that little thought in the back of your mind. Even if I do slip up a bit, TJ's got me covered back there.
Yeah, I think there were multiple times when they would slip by us and we would run them down, and that's just something you don't see every day.
Yeah, the last resort. Hard to beat that guy. He was a lot like, he was smaller, but a lot like this James Summers guy from Page when James played there. They just mean so much to their team.
Yeah, you know, that's what people remember about the team last year, his ability and his talent. But, you know, he was such a great athlete.
You guys ever get tired of this thing? All we ever hear about is TJ. This is all TJ. Now we got our own team this year. You guys ever tire of that at all, or is it just good?
You can't really focus on that because we understand that there's a lot more to the team than that. Even the kids who aren't even getting that much playing time, they're working hard in practice. Everyone contributes to the team, and that's what we have to understand.
ACC teams, you can play for NC State, North Carolina, Duke, Wake Forest, even the large school East Carolina. Which of those would you choose?
I would have to choose Chapel Hill. I've actually grown up a Chapel Hill fan my whole life. My parents went there, and my brother's there right now. So.
Your brother's in school there now?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, a lot of blood flowing through there then.
Yes, sir.
Light blue blood flowing through those veins. No football there for you. Are you still going there next year?
I think I can get in with my academics. I've been working hard in school as well as on the field, so that should provide the opportunity for me to go there.
What's the game plan? We got to use the football terminology. The game plan going to Chapel Hill, do you go just as a student, or do you kind of work yourself in, and if they don't look at me as a regular player, I could be maybe a preferred walk-on? Do you want to keep playing football?
I would love to keep playing football. Like I said, it's been...
Is the drive there? You're going to play, you're going to get on that team no matter what?
I definitely say so. You know, Chapel Hill has always been the place where I've wanted to be, so we'll just have to see what happens. I'm definitely going to keep working.
North Carolina said we'll take you as a preferred walk-on, but say Coach Dave Doran heard about you and said, I need a red-headed kid in Raleigh to play with the Wolfpack, and I'll give you a full scholarship. What would you do then?
Oh, it would be tough to play for a rival like that, but I would definitely do it. It's the game of football. I love it so much, and I would do anything to keep playing it.
So you don't play other sports either. It's just football with you.
Yes, sir.
Year round, you're training and everything in the off season too.
Yes, sir.
Do you have like a plan on Friday? Anything you do as an individual, regular routine, something you do every Friday, same thing? Maybe some people may not even know about it. Did you?
After school's over, after we get our team meal, I actually like to get a little time to myself and just think, listen to music, and just kind of focus up for the game ahead.
We had this thing back when I was in school. We had the nice gymnasium. It even had air conditioning back in the day. It was many years ago. It was kind of fun after that team meal to go in. They had these mats they would lay down, these wrestling mats. Just go in there and lay down and relax for a few minutes. A nice, cool room before the game.
Yeah, you definitely have to get your mind focused on the task ahead and just getting some time to yourself and just thinking about the game, thinking about the game plan, what you have to do. It really helps.
Listen, excellent job on your part. We probably could talk all night.
Yes, sir.
Because you guys have some very good talkers among this team. Congratulations on a great career and win another state championship.
Thank you, sir.
Keep up the good work.